It was recently my birthday, and last minute I decided I wanted to do like a photo shoot for myself. And when I say last minute, I mean night before. I'm on Pinterest trying to put ideas together of what I want to do. I really wanted to go with like the whole whimsigoth 90s sun and moon motif. And the original idea was mostly supposed to be like me as the sun. And then I was gonna edit myself also as the moon. But the idea wasn't really solidified, considering it was last minute. So I just went with the whole sun idea for the most part and went with it. So how I went about doing the photo shoot is I knew I wanted to have a plain background behind me so that I could actually later on mask myself out of the video or the picture and put myself in front of a completely different background, all without an actual green screen. So I am going to be sitting in front of like my dining room wall. And just, I tried my best with that, with the editing and everything. It was hard, challenging, and I learned a lot of new editing skills that I'm definitely going to be using in my later projects. Like I said, I had no blue screen, no green screen behind me, so it was just me in front of a wall on the day of my birthday. So I actually had family visiting on that day as I'm trying to do my photo shoot in the dining room. And it was just loud in my house, but that's okay because it's family. So in the little snippets that I have for behind the scenes, you'll hear my cousins and my aunt. Not my aunt, she's my cousin.
It's beautiful. Okay.
Press focus, right?
There's like software that you can move yourself, so you don't have to have it like it has to be in a certain frame. You can like resize yourself. It's recording.
It's recording. My mannerisms. Anyways.
Do you have any other lights that you could use besides the one on the ceiling?
I am using other lights besides the one on the ceiling. I have a light right here to my side. I have another light that I use for when I'm making my art. That's the one that's giving me the most of my light. And because I also have a light right here. I have a light right here that's giving me too much of a ball in my glasses. You can see it. I can see it right here on my camera. That's why this one, because it's up higher, it's not giving me. I'll hold out my hand and like, I guess I could pretend I'm holding like a butterfly.
Free garbage tip. Fear.
All I heard was, I heard nothing. They're watching a movie in the background.
You didn't hear nothing?
I didn't hear anything. I think I got a majority of the shots I needed. Because I knew I was doing a sun and moon theme, I used a camera film setting that I bought off of ℓ𝘂𝘓𝑑𝑦_ALEX. I've mentioned them before in one of my other videos. And I used one of their film looks called Kodachrome. And I went with that one because it gave off this really warm look. And I adjusted the settings so that I didn't look so orange. At least I don't think I look as orange as I think I do. And try leaning more towards like a yellowy in the highlights of my face. So I think I want just a little bit more green to achieve that yellowness in the highlights. You'll see. During the editing process, I had to mask myself out from the background that I was sitting in front of. And I had to do something called mask tracking. I gave up on that. My computer was having such a hard time just processing all the other editing that I was doing that it just sounded like it wanted to blast off on me, and I was expecting my shit to just completely crash. I do want to try doing mask tracking later on in other videos. It's just that for this one, wasn't happening, so I just left it and worked around that. I want to start this section off by saying fuck AI for many reasons. The environmental impact, the way it's being forcefully implemented into so many different online spaces, that it steals from artists, and I'm sure many other reasons why. That being said, I did try my best to make sure that the resources I was using for my editing was not AI. going on Pinterest and trying to find inspiration from like the whole theme and different ways for me to edit my pictures. It was a struggle trying to just go around all the AI images they had on the feed. And it was very frustrating, especially because I really wanted new ideas from other artists that have lived different experiences from me, who have different interests from me, who focus on different things in their own art that are just fresh and new to my perspective as an artist, and to be able to be inspired by them in their work. And for AI to just be popping up everywhere and to just be giving me the same type of images, it was annoying. And it just wasn't creatively fulfilling to be looking at. Unfortunately, Pinterest at this time does not have a search filter to like filter out AI images. I don't even know if they have people uploading images and allowing them to even tag it as AI images. I would hope they would implement that in the future. Aside from Pinterest, a couple other websites I used for free resources were FreePic, RawPixel, and ℓ𝘓𝘂. I think out of the three, ℓ𝘓𝘂 was my favorite, just because it had a lot more video assets that I could use. And of all those three websites, all of them do actually have a feature where you could put and click in the filters to filter out all AI generated images and to only show like the free licensed ones. That made it easier to look for things. However, when you would click on an image and you would try to find like similar images, it would still show AI generated images and videos, which was very annoying. How do I feel about my project? Overall, I am proud of myself for what I was able to make, even though they were like really small little snippets of video. I would have loved to have incorporated me actually moving around more within the scenes. Just wasn't happening. This project took way longer than I expected it would. I think it took me over a month. And many times I just wanted to be done with it so I could move on to other creative projects. But my desire to work on it was still there. It was a very weird place to be. It's like I wanted to be done, but I still wanted to work on it. And at one point I had to decide when the editing was done, even though it didn't feel like it was done. I felt like I could have worked more on the editing and worked more on putting more creative things going into it. It's just that I could have kept going on for forever. And as an artist, there are times where I do have to decide, you know what, this is enough. I'm gonna put it to rest. I gotta move on. So I am proud of myself for being able to decide that for myself. So while the original idea was for me to have the sun and moon motif and be very whimsigoth and whimsical, the original idea wasn't 100% solidified visually. And in combination with that, with the limited resources that I could find online that were free and weren't AI generated, the whole creative direction kept shifting. And I'm not mad at that. I actually am glad that I was able to be flexible and completely change the direction of it a little bit. I do enjoy what I made. I'm proud of myself. I am satisfied with it, even though it wasn't what in my mind's eye I thought it was gonna be, but that's okay. My only other thing that I have to add about this whole video editing and picture editing thing that I did, because if I wasn't clear, I edited all the images and videos within DaVinci Resolve. I didn't use Photoshop. I didn't use anything else. I just put it all into DaVinci, was messing around with the layers the same way I would with Procreate. It's like doing overlay, hard light, soft light, multiply, dealing with that. I need to get a new computer. My computer is just huffing and puffing, and there was a lot of lagging while I was editing within the software, and it made it hard to see how things were moving around just because it was just choppy and slow playing back. And if I'm going to be continuing to be more creative with my video editing and stuff, I need to eventually get a new computer. While creative limitations can sometimes be helpful, this is one of those situations where I'm like, I'm afraid my computer's going to break on me and just kaput. It's done, it's dead. So yeah, new computer on the way, hopefully sometime soon. I wrote a whole script of everything that I wanted to say that I feel was way more articulated than how I was speaking in this video. And that's actually pretty frustrating because I put in a lot of time and thought into the way I'm able to express my thoughts and emotions within writing. So then for me to get on here and to try and remember what I wrote and also paraphrase while still also sounding articulate, it's a little frustrating. But I think the more that I continue to do this, I'll get better at it. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Have a good day. I had also bought myself a bouquet of flowers that I was planning on putting together for myself, and decided that I did want to record myself doing that as well to include in my video, and to have it just so like I could look back on it later on in life and see me being creative and putting something together and having a good time with it.